What can we expect from the United States men's national team going into our first game of the tournament in a massive one against non-CONCACAF opposition? Well, let's find out as we preview USA versus Bolivia for the Copa America 2024. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Catch you guys next. And let's go!
I'm really in my zone. All my niggas getting cheese like it's provolone. They ain't with us out the bottom, so they'll never know. Even through trial and error, gotta keep yourself composed. Feel like me, little bitch, I'm chasing all my dreams. I couldn't.
So yes, people, without further ado, like I said, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. You'll find US men's national team Copa America content here all summer, as well as Arsenal content and as well as football content in general. So if you're liking the content, you're liking the energy, you're liking the vibes, smash that like button and leave a comment down below. Now, without further ado, let's get straight into this match preview and what I think you can expect from the men's national team. So without further ado, let's kick off this preview talking about our opposition, and that's Bolivia, who rank 85th in the world FIFA World Rankings, as well as picking up one win from the last 6 international games. Now, that might sound like bad reading. However, historically between the United States and Bolivia, it's been a fairly tight contest, with the first 3 meetings being all draws, as well as having an overall record of 2 wins apiece and 4 draws, with the US, however, coming out on the good side of 2 back-to-back victories over the Bolivians in the last 2 fixtures we played against them. So that sounds for good reading if you're an American fan. Now listen, recent form is showing you that Bolivia aren't doing that well, but in the only time we played them in Copa America, they did manage to pick up a 1-0 victory, and that's back in 1995 or 1996, I think. So listen, things can happen. Things can happen in a tournament and in a one-off tournament. Also, too, the United States has never won a Copa America. No other team from South America has won a Copa America. So they're going to look to keep that trend going. And Bolivia are, like I said, going to be a very physical team, going to be a very tricky team. Their manager, Zago, is a very experienced manager who's been coaching for a long time now. He's coached a lot of places, even coached in Bolivia, winning a league title in Bolivia, coached for Shakhtar as an assistant, coached in Roma as an assistant. He's been experienced, he's been around, and he has a little bit of wisdom, as well as playing for the Brazilian national team, winning a Copa Libertadores. He's a very experienced manager, and he's a very experienced former player. So that knowledge and that wisdom in big game tournaments, especially tournaments like the Copa America, could be on their side. However, I just have to say, I had the United States must get 3 points here. Now I know we've seen in the Euros, it's not always straightforward. For the tournament football, sometimes you look to get the ball down. You want to express yourself. You want to show quality. You want to show that you're a team. You want to make a statement. You want to go out there and impose yourself on teams you should be beating. Teams like England haven't done that, honestly, in the Euros. France, in their first game against Austria gave them a very difficult contest. And we've seen a lot of times in tournament football that sometimes the games can get scrappy and the games can get a bit tense and a bit cagey and a bit physical. So the United States, knowing that they're the better team, or knowing that they should be the better team in this contest, now have to go there and get the job done. And I'm not saying it's going to be easy. I'm not even expecting it to be a convincing victory. I'm expecting it probably to be a very tight victory, but a victory nonetheless. But let's touch on the United States men's national team going into this game. Yes, we've been in good form. Well, relatively good form, because we just got spanked in the game before 5-1 against Colombia, but recovered with the draw. And even before that, we won the Nations League, we won the Gold Cup. We've looked pretty impressive. However, though, in the last 10 games against non-CONCACAF opposition, the United States only have 3 wins. 3 wins in the last 10 against non-CONCACAF opposition. Now, who are those wins against? Oman, Uzbekistan, and Ghana. Respect to those nations, but they aren't the footballing powerhouses that you see at the Copa America, and also respectively to Uzbekistan and Oman, they're probably not as good as Bolivia. But when you see that record under this manager, and you see that record from this national team with the players we have, but yes, there have been some tough results in there. We played teams like the Serbians, who we've seen give England a game. We drew against Colombia in that run, also lost to Colombia in this run, lost to Germany, lost to Slovenia, drew to Brazil. So we're lost to the Dutch. No, in the World Cup, going back, I take it back all the way to the World Cup. Now, I'm not saying these are bad oppositions to lose to. However, it serves as an omen as United States fans. Yes, we know we're good in CONCACAF. I think we're kind of not content. I think we're moving past the content of just being good enough to dominate CONCACAF year on year. We want to become a perennial powerhouse in football. I know that takes years to build, and that takes a culture to build, and that takes a whole identity to build. But you want to start leaving an impact on tournament after tournament after tournament, especially as a host nation. Do I think we can do that against Bolivia? I think we should do that against Bolivia. And I think the squad we have is good enough to get all 3 points in the opening group stage game. Now talking about the lineup, how would I line up? Now going back to the game against Brazil and that lineup that Greg Berhalter put out there, I'd probably only make 2 changes to that lineup. So here's how I line up. I have Matt Turner in goal, Joe Skelly at right back. I have Richards and Ream at centre back, 2 guys who have been playing in the Premier League, showing consistency, especially Chris Richards for Crystal Palace at the back end of the season. Tim Ream, always a stalwart, always a good player, always a quality player for the men's national team when you put him in there. So I definitely have Tim Ream in there for that experience. Robinson, same thing. That ability to break up and down the left-hand channel has been absolutely key for us, especially as an out ball sometimes to relieve the pressure and just run and draw fouls as well. But I feel like I'm just skipping past Joe Skelly. Joe Skelly did an impressive job, a very impressive job against Vinicius Jr. So we've seen that Joe Skelly can defend. So that's why I'd have Joe Skelly in there. And in the midfield, here is where I'd make the change. Greg Berhalter went for a midfield of Gio Reyna, Yunus Musa, and Weston McKennie against Brazil. Now, that midfield was able to press very well and win the ball back in good areas. But I thought one thing we lacked and one thing we missed was that penetration and that speed of tempo through midfield to our attacking wide players at a quicker tempo to get Pulisic and get Weah on the ball early and high and wide. What I'd probably bring in a Tyler Adams, who, yes, has the experience of winning the ball back and has that ability to win the ball back in good areas. I'd keep Gio Reyna in there, and I'd also keep Weston McKennie in there because I thought Weston McKennie's intensity, you're always going to miss that. I think he's a key figure in this midfield. The way he's able to fight for every ball. His engine in midfield alongside Tyler Adams is going to be crucial if we're going to make any waves in this tournament. And I think we're going to see that especially against these physical oppositions. So if the US are going to impose themselves, having a midfield that is strong, that is technically good, and that's technically going to be able to get the ball out wide early so we could hurt Bolivia is going to be absolutely key. So I'd go Tyler Adams at the base at the 6, and I'd probably have Gio Reyna and Weston McKennie on opposite sides just further ahead. And in the front 3, I'd play with one change to that front 3. I'd have Christian Pulisic on the left, Tim Weah on the right. And no, it's a toss-up between who starts as striker. No, since Florian Balogun has been announced as a men's national team player, he's had his opportunities. He scored goals in the Nations League. He scored 20-something goals in Liga in the season prior. Not such prolific season this season in terms of numbers wise, and he's also kind of flew under the radar. Pepe started to get more minutes, and Pepe started to look a bit more sharper. That he started to play more minutes as well. Who I'd go for this massive game? I'd probably go Balogun, just because I think we brought him in to be the number 1 guy in this men's national team setup. If he's not going well, obviously Pepe is also a good option to bring off the bench always. He scores goals, he works hard, same way. Who I'd go with, I'd prefer any of them, honestly. I just like to see that work rate, and when you get your chance, please up there and take them. I think, and I know Bolivia, I talk about Bolivia's form and I talk about their run going into this tournament, but when you're playing these oppositions who we know are going to make it tough on us, who we know are going to try to play very physical and make it hard in those hot, tense environment, we're going to have to be clinical and we're going to have to match that intensity. And Pepe could give us that, but I think Balogun might just have that edge in terms of clinical goal scoring wise. He's done it in the top 5 European league. He scored goals, and I think if we start putting those chances in there, he will take them. So I'd probably start Florian Balogun at the top. So that would be my 11 going into this game against Bolivia. If I do think that 11 is good enough to get the job done, I get all 3 points. And put us in good steadfast in this group while we have others like Panama and Uruguay to play in the future. Now, guys, let me know what you think down below. Let me know what you think of this United States versus Bolivia match. Sunday is going to be a massive game. It's going to be a very tense game. It's going to be a very physical game. But I'm hoping you guys very much enjoy it because I know I will be there and I know I will enjoy it myself. Now, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Leave your thoughts and your score predictions down below. Oh yes, and score prediction to close out. I have the United States with a 2-0 victory over Bolivia. Pulisic as a goal scorer, as well as Chris Richards from a header, from a set piece. So like I said, leave your score predictions down below. Leave any other predictions you like down below, and let me know what your thoughts about the United States going into this massive game for the Copa America and the opener for Copa America. See you guys in the next one. Peace.